Hey guys, we are back for a tasting video. We're going to be tasting one of my beers, and what I've got here is the Creme Brulee Imperial Stout. So most of it I've got in glass bottles, and I've primed them quite low, probably about 50% of what I would normally do. But I did one bottle in a PET bottle at sort of normal carbonation rates that I do for other ales, just so I could share it with you guys. The other ones I'm going to age probably until about Christmas time, January, something like that. So yeah, here it is here. So I'll pour it up first, and then I'll tell you a bit more about the beer. So it feels quite tight, so we should get a pretty good little hiss, not too much of a hiss. So we'll pour it up. Probably be fairly aggressive, I imagine. So there we are there. So even though the bottle is fairly tight, hasn't poured up too much of a head. But I think the fact an Imperial Stout, the extra alcohol sort of generally stops any major head forming. That's my understanding anyway. So yeah, this is the beer I've brewed up for a competition in January, Creme Brulee and Imperial Stout. I was aiming around the 10% mark, but the beer finished quite high. It finished at 10.30, so it's actually closer to 9% than the 10% mark. But looking pretty black there. I can get some very slight sort of browny hues at the bottom. Apart from that, it's pretty dark. Yeah, it's got a nice ring on the top. So yeah, I'll quickly tell you a little bit about the beer. Excuse the traffic outside. Okay, so the bulk of it is Gladfield's ale malt, about 3/4 of it, and then we've got equal parts, around 5% of Gladfield's dark chocolate, medium crystal, and lactose, and then around 4% each of flaked barley and roasted barley. Also, it's got around 4% candy sugar, so I'll put a link to the brew day footage below. So I made some candy sugar, just put some table sugar, white cane sugar and some water, and then cooked that up or boiled it up until it turned a nice sort of amber colour, and added that in at the boil. And then it's hot with Chinook at 30 and 15 minutes. And then it's had a vanilla pod, or 2 vanilla pods, cardamom seed added, and what else? Oh, and I used the Mangrove Jack's M42 New World Strong Ale Yeast. So yeah, apart from that, 9%. Yeah, let's check it out. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I guess from the name, Creme Brulee, hopefully it's got some sort of sweet, oh yep, you can, first thing I'd smell is the cardamom. Cardamon's a sort of slightly spicy, aromatic, smell or aroma. Maybe a little bit smoky as well for some reason. You can smell the dark malts coming off the top. Yeah, you can get a little bit of sweetness coming through on the nose. Smell the little bit of booze as well. And I think I can smell sort of hints of the vanilla. So it smells good, it's very inviting. Yeah, sort of almost got a nice sort of smoky sort of quality to it, which I don't know where that would have come from. Maybe from the candy sugar, although that should have just given it a nice sort of caramel sweetness. But it smells nice. We'll dive in, guys. Cheers to you all. So yeah, this bottle's fairly green. It's only about 3 weeks in the bottle. So hopefully, if it tastes pretty good now, it'll only get better with time. So. how you can taste that booze. It's got a real nice warming quality to it. I can taste the vanilla. That's really nice. Almost want to say it tastes like it's got some sort of, it hasn't got any licorice in it, but it tastes a little bit of licorice. A little bit spicy from that cardamom. Pick up the cardamom more, probably more on the nose. In the flavour, it's sort of blending in with the other flavours. Some real nice dark malt. You had that medium crystal in there and that sort of hints of chocolate. If it wasn't for the fact that you can taste the booze on it, could be a little bit dangerous to drink, because there's no sort of other signs that it's high, sort of around the 9% mark. So it had that lactose in it, so it's yeah, it's probably just over a medium body, but it's got some nice lacing and, as people say, alcohol legs. You can see the, when I tilt the glass, you can see the alcohol or the stickiness sort of sticking to the glass. Struggling to describe my own beer, but I guess first up, I'm happy with how it's turned out so far. I think it's going to get better. It's going to mellow, and I didn't really have any idea of how it's going to taste apart from the name Creme Brulee. Let's see if we can pick it. Does it remind me of a Creme Brulee? There's definitely qualities there. It's, yeah, that sweet sort of candy sugar, some caramel. Yeah, there is that little bit of sweetness from the lactose, and maybe a little touch of creaminess, even though it's got no real head on there. There is a slight creaminess to it. Yeah, I think that cardamom is giving it that slightly smoky, spicy sort of edge, which is really nice in a Imperial Stout. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Trying to think what else to say. Yeah, now I put my nose in now, and the top part of the glass is sort of filled with that alcohol, or high alcohol sort of note. Smells nice. Definitely a sipper. IBUs are fairly low. I'm just trying to remember what they were. Oh no, they weren't, because the alcohol's high, hides the higher IBU. So it's 50, nearly 55 IBUs, 53 to 55. That Columbus. Trying to think if there's a sort of a slight, I wouldn't say it's citrus, but it's got, yeah, maybe a slightly piney sort of quality to it. It's almost got like an oaky sort of quality, or some sort of wood note in there. I didn't use any oak chips or anything. Nothing was soaked in any oak. Oak wasn't soaked in anything, I should say. Almost a bit leathery as well. Smells a bit like leather. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's my very first Imperial Stout. I forgot to bring out the book, but I'll put a photo of the book. It's the, jeepers, what is it? The new book I got. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the aroma on that, actually. Especially on these bigger beers, the aroma is actually just as enjoyable as the flavour often. It smells really good. There's nothing, no off flavours, there's nothing in there I'm thinking, oh, that doesn't smell quite right, and there's nothing in the flavour that doesn't taste sort of, that it shouldn't be there. Okay, I think that's me done, guys. If you've got any questions or if I missed out anything, just sing out below. Don't think I've missed out anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So happy days. Hopefully it does well in the comp. So we will catch you later. Cheers, guys. Over and out.